In the pre-dawn darkness of June 6, 1944, the world held its breath. Along the stormy coast of Normandy, France, the largest amphibious invasion in history was about to unfold. Black and white photograph of countless Allied ships and barrage balloons filling the English Channel en route to Normandy. This day, D-Day, was not merely a single battle. It was the climactic opening act of a grand and terrible play. It represented the moment the Allied powers brought their combined might to bear on Nazi-occupied Western Europe. United States, Great Britain, Canada, their allies. The ultimate goal: storm the beaches, establish a permanent foothold, begin the march toward Berlin to liberate a continent. The road to D-Day was paved with months and years of top-secret planning. Under the watchful eye of General Dwight D. Eisenhower, military strategists and logisticians worked tirelessly. The plan, Operation Overlord, required unprecedented coordination. Millions of soldiers, sailors, and airmen gathered in the south of England. They trained relentlessly, rehearsing landings and obstacle removal, preparing mentally for brutal combat across the Channel. Deception, a phantom army to draw German eyes to Pas-de-Calais, not Normandy. Factories churned out ships, planes, tanks, bullets. Engineers built amphibious tanks that could swim to shore, and floating harbors, mulberries, to create instant ports. Every detail was weighed: weather, moon, tides, lives depended on it. In the early hours of June 5th, after a cautious forecast, he said, "Okay, let's go." With that, the invasion machine turned. Events that would change the 20th century were set in motion. The assault began not with ships, but from the sky. As the Armada plowed through the Channel, more than 13,000 paratroopers flew into the night. The American 82nd, the 101st, and Britain's 6th Airborne. Their mission: sow chaos, cut bridges, secure causeways for the beach forces. Scattered and chaotic, they fought through confusion and fire, and proved indispensable. At dawn, the horizon vanished behind steel. Nearly 7,000 vessels assembled off the French coast: warships, troop transports, landing craft of every size. The air trembled with engines, and the concussive boom of naval guns, USS Texas, HMS Warspite, opening fire. This was the Atlantic Wall: concrete, machine gun nests, artillery. Bombardment sought to shatter it before the first boots touched sand. The first soldiers were met by a storm of fire and steel. Cordite thick in the air, screams, a deafening cacophony. Rommel's obstacles and mines everywhere. The invasion spanned a 50-mile front, divided into 5 code-named beaches, each with its own story. At Utah, airborne drops and bombardment were effective. The 4th Infantry came ashore against light resistance, pushed by currents to a weaker sector. Brigadier General Theodore Roosevelt Jr. declared, "We'll start the war from right here." His calm leadership organized the men and drove them inland. Omaha was tragically different. Bombardment missed. German positions on the bluffs stood virtually intact. The first waves suffered horrific losses, pinned by murderous crossfire. Grit and small unit leadership slowly forced a path up the bluffs. By day's end, a fragile foothold held. At Gold, specialized tanks, crocodiles and crabs, proved invaluable. British troops pushed inland to link up. At Juneau, heavy early losses matched ferocious determination. The Canadians advanced furthest inland on day 1. At Sword, Lord Lovett's commandos linked with airborne forces at the Orne Bridges, securing the eastern flank. Securing the beaches on June 6th was only the first step. The days and weeks that followed became a brutal, grinding conflict. The plan called for swift captures and a rapid breakout, but reality was a slow, bloody slog. Elite panzer divisions rushed in and dug in with skill and tenacity. Normandy's bocage, thick hedgerows on earthen mounds, became a weapon. Nearly impervious to tank fire, they forced savage, claustrophobic fighting. Each hedge taken at close quarters, bayonets and grenades, progress in yards, not miles. Casualties mounted at alarming rates. Sergeant Curtis G. Coolin devised steel tusks for Shermans to cut hedges. Ingenuity opened lanes for the advance. Around Caen, British and Canadian forces fought a month-long inferno that pinned German armor. In late July, Operation Cobra, thousands of bombers, shattered the lines near St. Lo. Bradley punched a hole, Patton poured through, tanks racing across open country. The Falaise Pocket trapped much of the German 7th Army, tens of thousands killed or captured. Normandy was liberated. The road to Paris lay open. The success of D-Day and the Battle of Normandy came at a staggering human cost. In that summer, peaceful places became a vast graveyard. More than 425,000 soldiers were killed, wounded, or went missing. The markers stand as a silent, powerful testament, each one a life cut short, a family shattered, a future unrealized. Strategically, D-Day was the decisive turning point in Western Europe. Normandy became a logistical miracle. Millions of tons and millions of troops poured into France. The drive east culminated in Paris's liberation and, less than a year later, Nazi Germany's defeat. It also stands as a triumph of international cooperation and shared resolve. From generals to mechanics to infantrymen, success depended on unprecedented teamwork. Today, D-Day reminds us that freedom is not free. Sometimes it must be fought for. We remember not to glorify war, but to honor sacrifice, and to reaffirm liberty, justice, and peace. Their legacy calls us to work together to build a world worthy of their immense sacrifice.